Hey YouTube, Heretic U here with the final battle report ever that I'll ever do for 2012. There we go. I'm playing Niccodem and my opponent is playing the Victorious, and he took the Avatar. This is a 35 Soulstone scrap. My opponent is Mark, aka the Lemming Stampede. He is no doubt the best player in Southern California. He's been to every tournament, and I think, with the exception of maybe two, he's placed first. And if he doesn't place first, he usually plays second. In fact, he hasn't lost a game since like September. So this is going to be a really challenging battle for me. I love challenges like this. So I was like, well, you have a nicely painted crew, and my crew's painted, so let's do a battle report. So on to Mark's crew. He took the Victorias along with their Avatar, a couple of Fry Corpsemen, a Desperate Merc, a Misdemeanor, and a Ronin. Strategies: he had Claim Jump. For schemes, he took Kill Protege on my Mortimer, and he took Stake a Claim on that little fence you'll see in the back there behind that house. So pretty solid crew and a pretty solid choice of schemes. I had Niccodem, 3 Necropunks, Mortimer, Rotten Bell, Grave Spirit, Punk Zombie. For myself, I flipped Supply Wagon, which was pretty bad because there was only one way to the middle of the table, the way the train was built. And I took Bodyguard on Niccodem and Holdout. So basically, not ever fighting the Avatar Vix. I just took a bunch of turtle schemes, thinking that, you know, I haven't lost Niccodem in a fight yet, so I thought that was pretty safe, and I could paralyze his models with Niccodem and achieve my holdout. So I was just going to play defensive, and that's kind of my default when facing a crew I'm not too sure about. I just kind of let them come at me and kill whatever, or try to kill whatever comes at me. The Victorias, I had no idea that they were this fast, but you'll see in the upcoming shots of the battle there how it goes. Okay, so a little bit of a disclaimer before I start the battle report here. I'm recording this a couple days after. I'm going off memory. I don't take notes. So I didn't photograph everything. You know, I tried to, but as the game got more intense and more involved and actually more enjoyable, I just kind of forgot that I was doing a battle report and just decided on concentrating on trying to win this game. But I did get a shot. This is his deployment here. Basically just a wall of killy stuff. I mean, I think I need to correct myself real quick. He had a couple Desperate Mercs. I think earlier I mentioned he only had one. He actually has 2 there. There's my deployment. Pretty simple stuff. Keeping the Grave Spirit close to Niccodem so I can get that +2 armor. Especially when you announce that you have Bodyguard and he has, you know, such a killy crew, that +2 armor will come in handy. And you can see just another shot of him lining up for that claim jump. I do want to make a quick note about the terrain. You can see that the battlefield there is kind of divided in half, almost. Not half, but the display board is mounted up, and there's only one way up on either side, so this was gonna be problematic. As you can see there's the one way up. That's me activating Mortimer, basically casting a zoom. A lot of people think Mortimer is too expensive. I'm happy with Mortimer if he can get me a couple of extra corpse counters. So already starting off the turn with 1 is pretty good. Because I mean, if I get 2 corpse counters out, then I can turn that into like a flesh construct. So I'm already, you know, netting value from Mortimer. Or I can, you know, I can pretty much do whatever I need with that corpse counter without having to kill something. A lot of people like to go with the dog route, where they just, you know, hire a bunch of canine remains and then slaughter it and get the points. I mean, either way is fine. For me, this has been working, so I'm going to stick with it. Here's a shot of the Victorious. This is still turn 1, and basically what he's going to do is get his manifest requirement by slaughtering that desperate merc. And who knew it was so easy to manifest the Avatar Vix? I've never faced them, so I knew usually, you know, I'm always suspicious when someone takes a desperate merc. You know, that guy's just there for, you know, corpse counter or blood counters or something. It's really sad. I mean, they just want to earn a living, but they always end up dead. Here's a shot of his Ronin. So his Ronin's moved up the hill, or basically the display board, and I can tell he's positioning himself with minions that will be able to damage that supply wagon. And then I think that's the second desperate merc up there, or gunsmith. I never, yeah, it's hard for me. I think that's a Ronin. Yeah, exactly. For me, I'm crowding all my necropunks together. Pretty simple idea. I mean, necropunks have hard to kill, so you're going to, I don't care how hard you hit them, you're going to need 2 action points to drag them down. Plus, if they swarm you, you're slow. So I figured they're a perfect kind of escort for the supply wagon. As long as they can be protected from all the range on the field, which was Niccodem's second job, to cast the fog off. But I didn't get any mass this game. It was really hard for me to get. I got fog off a couple times, but as far as leap goes on the necropunks, I never. I think maybe once or twice I actually got it off. I never had the high enough mask in my hand, and so I'm trying to top deck it. Here you can see the punk zombie kind of positioning himself up to help out. I moved the crooked man towards the claim jump marker. Just simply throw some shafted markers down, maybe slow down the Vix, or maybe change their direction. And I also have the rotten bell next to him, so I can pull stuff into the shafted marker, and hopefully, you know, something falls in or gets paralyzed. And my whole plan is to basically slow him down, paralyze him, and make him, you know, and just win off, you know, just cheap turtle tactics. Niccodem activates, and I immediately get scared because he's gonna manifest his avatar. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that corpse counter and just use a rise and give me a you know, a walking bodyguard with that mindless zombie. And here we see like the free corpsmen just kind of positioning themselves ready for that supply wagon to come at them. So he has a really good, well thought out plan. There's the supply wagon at the end of turn 1, kind of moving up, and you see the problem there. I got models blocking, and the thing is, I need that slope. So on to turn 2. As you can see, he's kind of got his forces evenly divided, half going for his objective and half positioned to stop my objective, which is that moving supply wagon, moving 6 inches a turn up that embankment there. And I pull my punk zombie back a little, just to. I'm playing very defensive this game. Not sure what's going to happen. I'm waiting for my opponent to commit, basically. Here I am casting the shafted marker, and I'm waiting for something to expose itself so that the Rotten Bell can activate and pull it towards that shafted marker. Or at least, if he does the all action and manifests and somehow gets a way to reactivate it. I don't know the Avatar Vic. I don't know if there's a way to do that. But it's always nice to have that shafted marker where you need it, just to get your opponent to move another direction or force him into some way he doesn't want to go. I continue moving the Necropunks. My idea is to get them behind buildings and then, cast Leap and jump on top of the Freikorpsmen, surround them, and get them out of the way. Of course, Leap is not going off for me. This is the second activation for me. I think I skipped his. But, I'm trying to cast Leap every single time, and I don't have the cards in my control hand, and so I'm top decking. And so at least what I'll do is I'll hide. The idea was to hide them behind the building, and to get them to, once the time is right, they'll just, because they have Arachnid, they'll just climb over the building and swarm them, and hopefully, do enough chip damage to take out a couple of his minions. Rotten Bell activates, and she finally has a target to lure. So I lure. He cheats really high. I'm okay with that, because at least he's burning high cards. And then the third Necropunk goes. So there's just a gang of Necropunks. At this point, I'm like really regretting I took 3, because they're not doing what they're supposed to be. I mean, they're in a pretty good position to react to my opponent, but yeah. And here we are. They use the all action, and he manifests Avatar Victoria. So there's a shot of her. She's on the claim jump. I don't know how he got rid of the shafted marker, or I think he was far enough away from it when he did. So I figure, okay, judging by the angle or the positioning of the Avatar Vix, he's going to go after the Crooked Man and then the Rotten Bell. So I had the Grave Spirit kind of leave Niccodem and try to get off an early paralyze, but I think I was like half an inch or maybe an inch out of range at that point. And there's Mortimer again doing his job, getting off an Exhume and getting me another corpse counter. So now I quickly activate Niccodem, or I think I missed that. Niccodem activated and summoned a punk zombie. That other one, not this one. This one actually had full activations. It was the one I started with, and he attempted to charge and failed. That's the punk zombie that I summoned from that corpse counter. So I figure I had a good amount of counter charge. I was just waiting for my opponent to commit. I think he was kind of waiting for me to commit. And so it was a pretty good game of like cat and mouse going on here. Just a shot of end of turn 2 where the Avatar Vix are just waiting and ready for the slaughter to come. So here we are in turn 3. Mark wins the activation and immediately activates Avatar Victorious, of course. Plenty of stuff to charge and run down, so and he wants to get in my lines pretty quickly. So he starts by charging the Crooked Man, and one shots him actually. Avatar Vix are crazy on the charge. A bunch of positives, and it's just not even. It's pretty scary what they could do. My Slaughter die action, I cast Shafted. I moved the Shafted marker in front of Niccodem to kind of ward off the Victorias from going straight for my Master there, which only leaves them with one really viable charge, which is the Rotten Bell. And they make pretty short work of the Rotten Bell as well. So he's taken out both my control pieces, and then with his final action point, he takes out the Grave Spirit. So it was just madness. This had to stop. So I activate Niccodem. I cast Reanimator, burn 2 corpse counters, and summon a Flesh Construct. With my other action point, I had line of sight to the Victorias, so I go right for Rigor Mortis, and it actually takes me 2 attempts and 2 Soul Stones. He had to do the same, but on the final cast, I got him. So I don't have to worry about the Victorias, and for at least a turn. So a little sigh of relief there. And here you see the Free Corpsman making quick work of my Punk Zombies. So I'm losing models pretty quick here. But I do have the A Victorias pinned. With that, I start positioning the Necropunks. My attempts to try to fly over the house and flurry onto one of the Fry Corpsmen fails. Just again, no mass in my hand, and top decking is always hard to do. My opponent moves a Ronin onto the claim jump marker to reestablish that, and then I'm still not giving up on the idea. Maybe I'm hard-headed, but I try again and have to reposition the other Necropunk. I'm stuck behind these houses, and I'm just waiting for the right moment or the right cards, and they just never seem to come. So with the Rotten Bell, the Punk Zombie, and the Crooked Mint out of the way, he quickly starts moving his models up to the claim jump marker. There's no threats, or no real big threats he needs to worry about now. I do have a single Punk Zombie, which I move into combat with that Fry Corpsman, double Katana Blade, and I think, I missed. It's insane how many times, just how bad my card flips are. Double, paired weapon, and still nothing. Now the Flesh Construct moves into combat. He was just summoned, so he was slow. I will get a strike at the end of the turn, so no big deal. I just want to make sure that I'm, at least providing a buffer zone. Here's a crazy shot here of the other Fry Corpsman firing at my Punk Zombie into combat. He fires twice and kills him. It's amazing how many times he was able to shoot into combat and hit the model he wanted to. Slow to die action, I kill the other Free Corpsman. So sort of an even trade right there. So starting off with turn 4, I start by grouping up my one of my Necropunks. Again, trying to leap and just not having the control cards. It's a theme. There's a theme for today. He responds by moving the last remaining Free Corpsman. That is the stake claim, that wall there. So now I have to move the Necropunks out of position, and I definitely have to defend that, because that's 2 points right there, and it's already a tight race. So I begin by activating one of my Necropunks and moving him closer. And that's just, I think I just took extra shots. I'm not sure. This is where the battle is getting very intense, and I failed to take multiple pictures of activation. So what you're seeing here is just sort of snippets of what I had. It really, like I said, at this point we're both sweating bullets, and we're both trying to win this thing because it's a very close game. I activate the. This is me activating the Flesh Construct, who already did a couple points of damage at the end phase, and was going to do a couple more damage here to the Victoria. So kind of chipping away. Okay, so here we are starting off turn 5. The Victorias are no longer paralyzed. He wins activation, and here we have the big duel between Avatar, Victoria versus Niccodem. Ended up burning almost every soulstone I had, or every soulstone, and using a mindless zombie to just stay alive there. And Niccodem was down to 2 wounds at that point. I then activate him and reposition him up on top of the hill. Paralyze the Victorias again, and I summon a rogue necromancy with 4 corpse counters. I put it on top of the hill. I didn't get a shot of that, but you can see the end result there. The rogue neck didn't last very long. He quickly dispatched it with the Ronin before it even had a chance to activate. You know, I was hoping that it would, even though it was just summoned and slow, it has enough, you know, with 2-headed to, you know, do enough damage and kill a couple of Ronin. That not being the case, I didn't have any more photos at this point. So let me just sum up. We played till turn 6, and you can see that the Necropunk finally did his job, pulled off a leap, and was able to contest the claim jump. So they ended up denying 2 victory points, but I lost Niccodem. So, you know, I was denied 2 victory points as well. The other 2 Necropunks ended up in combat with the remaining Fried Corpsemen. They flurried, so total of like 6 attacks, and still not able to kill that Free Corpseman. Misdemeanor was blocking the supply wagon, so he couldn't get to the middle of the field. So basically the final score was he got 2 for his claim jump, and he got 2 for stake of claim because the Free Corpseman was still alive, and he was on top of the stake of claim marker, that little wall there. So hindsight, very tough opponent. He had a very effective way of just killing my stuff. Taking out my Rotten Bell and my Crooked Men with a single model. Really had me reeling back and playing more defensive than I should have. I think I could have utilized the Necropunks a little bit better. If I had them swarm the Avatar Vix, they would have been slow, and it would have taken it, no matter how hard she would have hit them, you'd still need 2 hits to take them off the board. But in the end, I think I was just you know, outplayed. So you know, props to my opponent for a very good game, and I hope you enjoyed this battle report, and I'll see you on the next one.